Hey everyone, long time no see. Welcome back to another episode of Literally What. I am so excited to be back talking with you guys. So for those who do not know, we were off last week because I moved states. I am no longer a Florida orange. I am a Georgia peach again. That was so cringy. But we moved back up to Georgia, which was such a crazy time because you never realize how much moving sucks until you do it, and then you tell yourself you're never going to move again because it's just so much work. And we've been here for about a week and there is still so much left to do, just organizing and cleaning wise and all of that. So slowly but surely the house is coming together, and more specifically the podcast studio, we are totally redoing it. We have the room all somewhat set up. We have a ton of fun ideas we came up with over the past couple weeks, and we are putting the finishing touches on it this next week. So today's episode is audio only, but the next episode we're going to be moving into a whole new era of the podcast. I'm so excited for you guys to see it. It's going to be so freaking cute and way more comfortable for me as well, because literally the year and a half that I had been doing the podcast, I didn't really change anything. It was just kind of like a chair and desk that I could find and like an Amazon background, and just kind of stuck with that. But now I just really want to kind of update everything, make it look a lot better. So that'll be really exciting. Hopefully all of you guys tune in for that next week, because we'll be doing a grand reveal of the studio, which will be so much fun. But yeah, it was so hard to try and like come up with the stories I wanted to talk to you guys about, because obviously we've been off for 2 weeks. I want to make sure I'm talking about things that are still relevant. So I think I have a pretty good lineup of stories for you guys. We also have the White Lotus finale recap at the end of the episode. So if you didn't watch the White Lotus, you can just, skip that part. But I'm going to save that for the end. And then, of course, we have a ton of other great, amazing, fun stories. But yeah, just some housekeeping. Make sure you're following the Instagram. Go subscribe to the YouTube. And if you're listening to this, which obviously you are because there's a video this week, but go ahead and give it 5 stars on Apple or Spotify. You guys are seriously amazing. I cannot wait for you guys to see the new podcast studio. It's going to be so amazing. And I'm just so excited for the future of this podcast. So yeah, without any further ado, let's get into some hot gossip, hot takes, stories, and advice that will have you saying literally what? All right, you guys, first off, we're jumping into Coachella weekend news because Coachella is this weekend. You guys know I have been an avid watcher of Coachella from afar since I was a young teenager. I've always been just so fascinated with the whole concept. And it's no different now that I'm 25. I am still watching all of the vlogs. And let me just say, the more, I guess, older I get, the less likely I would ever be to go to Coachella. And especially this year, I don't know what it is, but it just feels like this year is way worse than it's ever been, just from what I've seen of people who are vlogging and people who have gone there year after year. Specifically, people were saying that the security, whatever company that Coachella used, was awful, and they would take literally an hour to search a car. And so people were waiting in line in their cars for 6, 7, 8 hours, and people who were by themselves couldn't leave their car, obviously, to go to the bathroom. And luckily, no one, I don't think, ran out of gas because they were pretty much stopped the whole entire way. But apparently it took hours and hours to get in just to parking. And then they always used to have, when you enter into Coachella, obviously it's literally a big desert. Like, there's a lot of walking. It's hot. But they would have bikes that you could pay to have them bike you in, which were, of course, so overpriced. But, people who are there and have money will do it. They don't have them anymore, so people had to walk in. And then I'm pretty sure they got rid of the whole VIP separate tent, and everyone just kind of had to walk in together. So from what I've seen, it has looked honestly awful. And then I kept seeing the shower line. So you can so if you don't know Coachella, basically you have to pay a lot of money. This one girl, I think, paid literally $1,000 to get a parking pass. You bring your car and you kind of just camp out and then walk to the Coachella whatever. And so, you know, if you're camping, you can bring those like fancy little shower things that you kind of set up by your car. Otherwise, Coachella does provide like showers for you, but you have to get up super early. Otherwise, you literally are going to be waiting for hours in line just to shower. You guys, I cannot imagine being hot and sweaty, having to stand in line and then get in the shower and then walk out and have everyone there and then going back and then getting more sweaty and then having to walk and then getting dressed and then also drinking. So then you're like dehydrated. It just like sounds awful, awful, awful. And the more I'm watching people's vlogs, it just seems like they're not having the best time. I think the only people who do have the best time are the ones who are super rich or obviously famous, and they're not camping out at their cars, first of all. And second of all, you know, I feel like they can kind of get to the front of the crowds and go see who they really want to see. So they're not like walking around in the heat all day. They just kind of go where they want to go. And yeah, I just cannot believe that these people do this year after year. It always like amazes me that people do it, because it just seems, first of all, like a sensory nightmare for me. I hate like sweating, and if it's a continuous sweat where like I also know that I can't just like go home, shower, get in my bed and kind of like reset for the next day, but it's a continuous like 3-day thing. Awful. Also, like the food, drinks, everything there is so expensive. It's also kind of like a competition, you know, of like, gotta have a super cute outfit on, but then, you know, you're gonna be sweating the whole time. And then you have to try and get through these crowds to see your favorite artists. And then, of course, the big artists that people want to see, everyone's going to be there. So then you're in a big crowd of everyone. It just like seems awful. And especially because it's a 3-night event. So I am loving watching the vlogs. I love watching them from a distance, sitting in my own bed in the AC air conditioning with my snacks, with my dog, with my cat, and watching it from there. But other than that, performances. So night 1 was last night on Friday. The big headliner was Lady Gaga. Oh my gosh. I love her so much. And her performance, you guys, she sang all of my favorite songs. She sang her old songs. She sang Poker Face, Judas, Bad Romance, her new Abracadabra song. She did all of the amazing ones, and it just looked so, so amazing. She really just is the epitome of pop and a performer, and just, she doesn't do it like anyone else, and no one else can do it like her. So her performance looked so amazing. The other ones that I saw, Benson Boone did a really great performance, and he also announced he's coming out with a new album, which I know a lot of people like hate on him because they say like, you know, the one song and backflip he does is overdone, but I love his personality so much. I love his music. I love how his voice sounds. He's one of my favorites. Like I have all of his songs in my liked on Spotify, which if an artist is in my liked playlist on Spotify, like I rarely add songs to that unless I really, 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 really like it. I take it very seriously. So yeah, he's great. And then Lola Young, who sings the Messy song. It was her first time performing and she was really nervous, but she did really, really well. I love that song. It's one of my favorites. So a good first night. And then we have tonight, that is going to be Green Day, Charlie XCX, Travis Scott, T-Pain for like the big ones, because basically like there's tons of different stages, and then the main ones like, you know, Lady Gaga, Green Day, Post Malone's going on Sunday. They're at the main Coachella stage, like the biggest one where, you know, the most people can fit. And then you have like other smaller artists. It kind of like goes down, I guess, by stage size. I don't know. But they do that because obviously, you know, if you're paying a ton of money for, you know, Coachella and you want to see your favorite artist, they don't want to have them ever like coincide at the same time. So they do it where it's all split up. So all the big artists are at the one stage, so they're never going to be performing at the same time, which is honestly smart because people put a lot of time and money into this. But then again, Sunday, yeah, is Post Malone, Megan Thee Stallion, Shaboozey, Zed. So honestly, like low-key some of my most favorite artists. So this would have been, if I were to ever go, which I wouldn't, but this would have been an amazing Coachella to go to because there's so many great artists. And then some of the celebrities that have been spotted, Justin and Haley are there. They were with Tate McRae and Kid Laroi. Kendall Jenner was there with 818. So that's all I saw so far. I haven't been deep diving yet because obviously it's just night 1. But yeah, looked fun from a distance. But then it's just crazy to me because obviously the people go all weekend, and then they go to the after parties and they have to wake up, and I cannot imagine it. But yeah, Coachella weekend, we'll be looking forward to seeing the other performances that are tonight and tomorrow. So yeah, that is Coachella weekend. Hope you guys are staying safe if you're there. Y'all are crazy for that. Literally so crazy. All right, so we're gonna jump into some romance news because Austin Butler and Zoe Kravitz have been spotted. So obviously both Zoe and Austin are very fresh off of their breakups. Zoe was obviously with Channing Tatum for 3 years, and then Austin Butler was with Kaya Gerber, and they both ended their relationship. And I remember I saw it somewhere, maybe I was listening to it, where I think someone literally called this happening, like Austin wanting to go for Zoe because they broke up at the same time. And here we are. They are starring in this upcoming film together, so they do know each other, and they've been filming this, I believe, but then recently there's been a little bit of, rumors of there might be some off-screen romance going on between the two of them. And so a source said that Austin and Zoe have been spending time together over the past few weeks. They get on very well. They have chemistry both on and off set. They're keeping it under the radar. They aren't putting a label on anything because they want to be respectful of their ex-partners, blah, 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 blah. So while it's not been, confirmed, I did see a picture of them making out. So whatever that is, maybe they are just hanging out, but they clearly do have chemistry. So yeah, exciting for them. Unless, now that I'm thinking about it, maybe that was from the movie. But let me just double check because I don't want to be lying to you guys. Because that would just be unfortunate if I'm literally telling you that they're making out and they're literally not, and it's just for the movie. But I did see it somewhere. Yeah. Oh, it is for the set, you guys. Well, let me just say, go look at the picture because it's giving a lot of on and off screen chemistry. So they need to just get together already because I thought it was real. I thought it was just like some paparazzi picture getting them in the alley, but I guess it's for, the movie. Anywho, we'll see if that turns into anything. But our next story is some news that is not so romance related because GLEBS and Brooks from GLEBS, oh my gosh, you guys, Gleb and Brooks, hello, from Dancing with the Stars. They have broken up yet again. And this was kind of weird because Gleb went on to do some interviews saying that he was surprised and he learned that they broke up through an article that was published that Brooks ended the relationship. He said that the last time they talked was a text on April 6th asking to speak, and then he called her, she didn't respond, and then said the last time he saw her was when he went to travel to New York to support her and film an episode of her reality show. So here's the thing. I feel like everything they do is so for views, for clicks, for attention. So I don't know if this is true or not. And also, now that we know that Brooks and her family are filming a reality TV show together, I would not put it past them that this is all for, attention for the show and to kind of get people talking about it. Because they're just like so annoying, honestly. Because they're just so on and off and everything is just for views and attention. So I don't know. I'm sure they're still together and this is just something else for publicity. But she did say that she caught or assumed or thought that he was cheating and that's why she broke up with him. And I don't know. I'm sure this will all be on the reality TV show. But yeah, if you hear breakup news from them, it's probably A, not true, or B, is true, but they'll get together again because that's them. So anyway, it is getting me excited though for Dancing with the Stars to come back. I want to know who is going to be on the cast. Like the casting for Dancing with the Stars and the Traitors, I think about probably once a day because I'm just so excited about what's going to happen with that. And so speaking of the Traitors, our Traitors queen, Gaggy, aka Gabby Wendy, she has caught herself in a little feud with Clayton, ex-Bachelor. So she was on a podcast and she was just kind of like talking bad about her ex Clayton. Who has not talked bad about their ex? Like, I don't think I've met one person who has not talked bad about their ex. Like, that's just kind of what you do. I feel like. And so anyway, basically she was on a podcast. She was making fun of his skinny jeans. She said he looked like a toe. I mean, it's kind of funny. And if you know Gabby, like, she's just so unserious. She's so funny, so sarcastic. I just, like, she's so herself, and I love that. And she's not someone that you would, I would never want to go and try to get an argument or fight with her, because no thank you. But then he decided to go on TikTok and just start ranting. This grown man ranting on TikTok. It was so embarrassing and cringy to watch, honestly. Like, actually really embarrassing. And basically saying, I need to stand up for myself. Gabby, like, what you're doing is bullying me, blah, 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 blah. Okay, are we in middle school? Seriously. So from my point of view, I was just like, this is embarrassing. He's clearly trying to just get clout, because she obviously took off. And I feel like we're forgetting that he was literally awful to her. He was basically, like, in love with all 3 of the finalists on his Bachelor season, and he exposed, like, what happened to them on Fantasy Suites. And so obviously after that, he broke up with them. Then Gabby got to become the Bachelorette, and he just was, like, awful to her. And I don't see a problem with her being on a podcast and, like, not talking great about him. Like, what is she supposed to say that's nice? You know what I mean? And so she clapped back, thank goodness. And then he clapped back again with a really embarrassing video of himself releasing, like, DMs of how, like, he tried to apologize to her. And, it's just, I don't know why he's trying to mess with her. It just is so funny. Like, the videos that he posted is just, like, so embarrassing, and she is standing up for herself, as she should. It's just really funny. It's a very funny feud, because, like, why would you want to mess with Gabby right now? That's just so stupid of you. So anyway, there's that. If you want to go watch something funny, go look him up, because he's kind of giving, online diary vibes with all these videos. Speaking of grown men crashing out on social media, Justin Bieber, what has been going on with him? I a lot of times just ignore everything that's kind of going on with him, because I feel like it's every other week there's drama about, him and Haley, and she involved him, and blah, blah, blah. And most of the time it's all rumors, because people are absolutely obsessed with them. And, like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of obsessed with the whole, like, Justin, Selena, Haley love triangle. Not that I would ever, like, discredit their marriage or anything like that, but, it's an interesting hole you can go dive deep down into if you really want to, if you're bored one day. But Justin kind of shaded Selena and Benny's engagement, because he posted a meme, and it was basically a meme about, like, girls on social media when they get engaged, and it was making fun of, like, girls posting their ring, or, like, when you get engaged, like, it's a big deal, whatever. Like, and it was a scene from Lord of the Rings where Gollum's, like, inspecting the ring and, like, looking at it in awe. And he posted that after she got engaged to Benny, which is, like, kind of suspicious. Like, you definitely didn't just randomly do that for no reason. And so after that, Benny posted a meme, which was so funny and, like, so good. And it was the scene of Shrek and Fiona telling Donkey, like, we're married now, we need time, like, just us alone. And it was really, really funny. And all this stuff has come out. Apparently Justin is hurt, that him and Benny were friends, and Benny kind of pulled away when he got with Selena, blah, 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 blah. I just, like, before I die, like, I want, like, a tell-all, what really happened, what really went down, what is going through their heads, because it's just so interesting to me, the whole Haley, Justin, Selena. And there's still, like, so much I feel like that comes out every day, and especially this, like, she gets engaged and now Justin's posting shady things. It's just, so interesting. And it's not like these people need to do this for like attention or views. Like, they are the most famous people in the world. You know what I mean? Like, if they're doing it, I feel like they're doing it because they know that people are going to see it and they want people to see it. So it's just interesting to me, the whole thing. And I really just want to know what everyone is thinking in their heads. But anyway. Oh, also, Justin and Haley were at Coachella, obviously. And there's this picture going around of Haley driving like a golf cart, and Justin, like, his friends are in the back, and like no one's sitting with her, and Justin's just kind of like staring down at his phone. And it's just so weird because I feel like either A, he would be driving, or like at least be next to like your wife when there's space next. It was just weird. And again, like, that's probably me reading into it, but it was kind of funny. Like, she's just sitting there like looking like she's Ubering him around in a golf cart. But anyway, that's that. Who knows? We always get Justin drama, so maybe he can just go on tour, please, because I really want to see him on tour again. All right, our next story is kind of exciting, but also it could be non-exciting for us. But Disney's Camp Rock 3 is apparently happening after more than a decade. And this is like kind of crazy. But let me just say before I get into this, if it is not Demi Lovato, Nick Joe, Kevin Jonas in it, don't even bother. There is no point. Please just cross it out. Like, don't do that if it's not them. But apparently Disney's ready to move forward with the Camp Rock 3. So it's been greenlit. They have been given the go-ahead to this movie that will be released on Disney Plus. And there is no plot details yet, but Edie Faye, who worked on Full House, she is apparently writing the script for Camp Rock 3. Now, obviously Camp Rock 1 and 2 are just so iconic. I mean, it's insane. But if Camp Rock 3 were to happen, this would have taken place, 15 years after the last movie. So maybe it could be the original cast trying to save the camp from going out of business. We see that a lot. Maybe it's just like more modernized. We don't really know what's happening again because the script is being written right now. But I think just the biggest thing that I would have question is like who is going to be in the movie. Like how many of the original actors are going to be in the movie. And we know that like Demi Lovato, she's doing so well now, and she's been pretty active in Hollywood, I feel like. So I could see her being all for this. And I feel like the Jonas Brothers are going on tour again. Like, they're being just very active again with just like their fans and everything. So I could see this happening. I could also see it happening where it's like more of like a PG-13 rated R kind of vibe, which would be iconic and I think so amazing. I don't know if they would do that because it's on Disney Plus. But yeah, I mean, I feel like everyone's kind of ready and kind of doing their own thing. And I couldn't see them saying no to this. So we will see. I would be all for this. Anything Disney Channel related, I'm all for, because that, again, literally is my childhood. So we'll see. We shall see. Our next story is some Broadway news. Yes, I'm a theater kid at heart, so you're going to have to just deal with some Broadway stories sometimes, okay? But Phantom of the Opera is returning to Broadway. So Broadway, again, after COVID, it did take a big hit, but now it is totally booming again. All of the shows that were shut down are coming back because 2020 was just like an insanely tough time. There were so many sudden drops in theater attendance, and a lot of shows were shut down. Beetlejuice, Mean Girls, and Phantom of the Opera, which was so crazy because I think that was like one of the longest running Broadway shows ever. I think it was running for like 30 plus years, and it was one of the longest running shows ever. And so when it shut down, it's kind of crazy. But they are coming back with it. It's going to have like a new little take, a little more modern. So audiences are going to be able to step foot into the world of the 19th century Paris with Masquerade. So it's going to be an interactive theatrical experience based on the original musical. And it's titled after Phantom. So not Phantom of the Opera. I think it's just Phantom. But it's not going back to its past Majestic Theater. It's going to be on West 57th Street. So while it's not at the original, it's still going to be back on Broadway, which is really, really exciting. And they don't have an opening date yet, but it is coming back. And I think that's just really, really cool and exciting that Broadway is back up and running. I love the theater. I think the theater is so important, and just excited. I also I've never seen Phantom of the Opera. Surprisingly, I've seen most of it just on clips on YouTube and stuff, but definitely on my bucket list of things to see. So I'm glad it's back on Broadway. Alrighty, our next story, we have just so much nostalgia. We had Camp Rock, we have all this stuff, and now we have Scooby-Doo. There is a live action series that is moving forward at Netflix. So, in this modern reimagining, old friends Shaggy and Daphne are teaming up at a summer camp with scientific townie Velma and the strange but handsome Fred to solve the mystery of a lonely lost Great Dane puppy who may have witnessed something. And Netflix posted episode 101, the script writing. And so this is just a modern reimagining of Scooby-Doo. And while I'm excited because I grew up on Scooby-Doo, it's one of my absolute favorite shows, and Spooky Island and the whole live action movies. So I am excited for this, and for a new generation, of course, to discover Mystery Inc. and Scooby-Doo. But I'm not you know what I mean? In my head, it's I'm set with the cartoon episodes. I'm set with the live action films they have. I'm set with it. I don't feel like they need to change it at all. I think it's so good how it already is and was, and there's really no need to touch it. So it's kind of when they redid Strawberry Shortcake, and now she looks so weird and just I don't like when they retouch things and then it just makes it look weird. And I want this new generation to grow up knowing the original Scooby-Doo and the original cartoons, the original cast doing the live action movies. I don't want this to be a whole new thing. So I don't know if I'm gonna watch it, because if they look weird and if it's not really the same, I don't know, it's just there's no point, with Camp Rock, if they brought back everyone, now me being in my 20s and them being older as well, that's more interesting for me. But this just doing a modern reimagination, I don't know, we'll see how it goes, but that is coming to Netflix for sure, you guys, so we'll see how that is. But our next story before our White Lotus recap is some theme park news, because Universal finally opened Epic Universe, and it's so insane to me because they opened these huge worlds. I think it's 4 or 5 huge worlds, and it took them about 5 years. And whenever Disney announces a new ride, I feel it literally takes that long to just open one ride. Tron, I really didn't think that was ever going to open. The Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, didn't think that was going to ever open. I feel it takes Disney so long, and now seeing Universal do this, and I watched a whole 45-minute walkthrough of Epic Universe. Disney, you kind of have some work to do. Not that they do, because they make so much money, they don't need to do anything different, but it's just kind of crazy to see what Universal did and then what Disney does, and it's kind of wow, all right, that kind of puts things in perspective for us. And I've always been a Disney person, but seeing Universal and everything they've done, and also Halloween Horror Nights, all of that, it's just kind of crazy that they did all of this in such a short period of time compared to Disney. I don't know, not trying to compare, but I'm comparing. So anyway, it looks so much fun. The Nintendo World looks amazing. They have a ride there where it kind of goes off the track. They have the Ministry of Magic, which I'm Harry Potter's biggest fan. And the ride, Battle of the Ministry queue, is literally insane. If you're a Harry Potter fan, you have to go look up the queue to this ride, because you literally walk through to get on the ride, this fireplace, and then there's FLOO powder, which explodes into the green to transport you. And so you walk and it does that, and then you walk to the ride. It's so crazy, the detail. oh my gosh, so immersive. It's amazing. And then we have the Monsters Unchained. They have like that whole Frankenstein ride. It just looks so, so, so fun. And just like exciting for Universal, because I went to Universal a few times before they had all of this, and it's like, it's fun. It was fun for me more so because I got to go to like the Harry Potter rides and that whole part, and that was like the most amazing for me. But other than that, it's like not the most exciting place in the world. But I think that them doing this and adding all these worlds, and also like you like the walk to the portal where they have it's like a different portal for each world you walk into. It's just like so cool. Watching the video was so amazing. And I think this really like put Universal on the map. And I know that a lot of people are like either Universal or Disney. Obviously Disney's more of like a nostalgia factor for me because like I grew up there as a kid. Like I will always like be a Disney princess at heart. Like, you know, that's more of a nostalgic kind of vibe, and you know, nothing will ever be able to live up to that. But it's like Universal adding all this stuff, and especially like me being a Harry Potter fan, and just like them adding new things like Nintendo, all the like scary monsters like Frankenstein. I think it's cool what they're doing, and I think they are trying to get better. So yeah, go Universal. Like honestly, excited for you guys. Wish I could have gone before I moved up, but it's expensive to go to theme parks, guys. It's like so crazy. But yeah, I'm also excited for the Universal. So for Halloween Horror Nights, they do like a spec map. So when they do Halloween Horror Nights, obviously they have like the different haunted houses, which fun fact, you guys, I went to one haunted house when I was in college, and I literally closed my eyes and held on to my friend the whole time going through it. Like I will never go through a haunted house. But for some reason, I'm so obsessed with watching like walking tours of all of the Universal haunted houses. And so I always get so excited when they announce these maps, because I'm like, I want to know what houses they're going to do this year. So Universal announced their spec map, which it's not telling you what the houses are, but it gives you like a little icon of what it could be movie wise. And so this year, a lot of people, let me try to find out what people think. There is going to be a Five Nights at Freddy's. There is going to be a holiday one. What's that, like Terrifier the Clown? That's going to be one. I mean, these people are way smarter than me, but it's cool to see the spec map and then everyone kind of like speculating, what it could be. So whatever they announce, I'm going to be so excited because I just love doing the walkthroughs, even though I would literally never go there ever. But yeah, that's Universal Epic Universe. If any of you guys go, please let me know, because like I think it would just be so fun and exciting, especially the Harry Potter Ministry of Magic part. But yes, now it's time for our White Lotus finale recap. Look, I don't care what you say, if you hated it, if you loved it. White Lotus, it's such a good show. I really do think it's for people who like pay attention to detail and love just like character study, and I just love the show. I would recommend, if this was like your first time and you've only watched season 3, I would go back and watch season 1 and 2, because you might like one of those seasons better. And they all kind of connect in a way. So if you watch season 3 and you didn't watch the other ones, go watch the other ones, because some people say that those are better. I just like come to like love the characters of that particular season and just become so like, what's the word? I guess connected to them. But yeah, such a great season, and we're gonna get into it. I'm not gonna like recap and summarize everything. I just like wrote down my thoughts as I was watching it that I needed to tell you guys about. The first one being, I was so pissed off because I saw that the blender was not rinsed out and it had the seeds in it, and I literally looked to my husband and I said, he's literally going to make a drink in the blender and he's not going to rinse it out, even though it's the most obvious, like, you need to rinse this out because this is like weird stuff in here. And of course he made the protein shake in the blender that was not rinsed out. And it's not even like there was a little bit at the bottom. There was like, it was disgusting. So that was just such a big, like, now I just don't even, that's like, what's the word I'm trying to come up with? Like, it doesn't make sense directing wise. Like, that just it doesn't make sense at all to me that they would do that. And so the actor Lachlan went on one of the talk shows, and the host asked him, I think we should be found, like, why would you put it in the blender? Like, why would you not rinse the blender out? Like, there was clearly stuff in there. And he said, oh, well, I just thought it was, a lot of protein in there already, and I just wanted extra protein. Please. Like, what protein looks like. That was not protein. Maybe it would have made sense if he was like wanted a little bit of pina colada because he didn't get some that night, but come on. Plot hole. Okay, that makes literally no sense to me why you would do that. And then obviously he almost dies, and Tim finding Lachlan was so sad, but honestly the whole like him giving his family the pina coladas was so crazy to me, especially because he didn't give Lachlan any, and I'm like, but why would you not? Like, come on, that's crazy. You just want him to sit there and watch his whole entire family die? Like, what is wrong with you? Another thought I had is we didn't ever find out like why that one, I don't even know any of the blonde girls' names or the three girls, but why she knew the mom of the family from like that bridal shower or something. And the more I watch White Lotus, I feel like not everything has to have reasoning, so I get that like maybe that was just sprinkled in there to kind of have the different like groups intermingle, but I did think that would become something just because it was early on, and normally sometimes things kind of come back together, especially when it's like groups knowing each other, but I've made my peace with that. It's fine. And good for Belinda, my queen, my girl. I love her. I want her to come back next season, but for her getting $5 million, like I did not think she was going to get it, and good for her. And I saw a lot of hate online being like, why would you leave the guy though? You did just what Tanya did. Okay, she just got $5 million. She's known this guy for like a week. She can go, leave. This guy was trying to kill her. Like, let her be. Let her live her life with her son and be happy. I don't know what y'all are trying to do. And do not compare her to Tanya, because that's actually crazy. Okay, and then Rick, of course, pissed me off. Like, he should have just left with Chelsea. Also, the fact that he went back to the literal resort that the man he, like, threatened owns. There was just, like, a few plot holes at the end, and I'm like, you guys are kind of just trying to annoy the audience, aren't you? But the thing that shocked me the most was when they said that he was Rick's father. I legit stood up. My mouth was open in shock because I didn't click that at all the whole entire season. Didn't cross my mind at all. I think the whole dad storyline kind of like went over my head. And so when he was like, or when she was like, he's your father, I was like, that doesn't make sense though, because then why would he be talking bad about his wife? And it was just weird to me. But yeah, very, very crazy. And then, Chelsea and Rick, they ended up together forever. And like, I am honestly not happy with how their story ended, because Chelsea was my favorite character. She was just such a pure person. And I'm kind of sad that that's how they ended their story. But again, it's kind of like if you're looking at like people and their personalities and just like life in general, if you're studying characteristics, like a lot of times girls think they can fix a guy, and you can't. And then, sometimes they're going to drag you down with them. And that's exactly what Rick did with Chelsea. And it's so sad. And honestly, what would have happened if, Chelsea went with like Saxon or something? Because honestly, Saxon's character development, you guys, was so crazy to me because he was so unlikable. The whole like first few episodes, I was like, this guy, he's such a good actor, because I literally hate him so much. He's so annoying. And then, the Ratcliffe family leaves on a boat, which is honestly so crazy to me that they just left, because I don't know what happened, honestly. And I kept seeing things online of like they want a Schitt's Creek with like the Ratcliffe family, which, you guys, that would be so good. Oh my gosh, because the mom, like, I'm just obsessed with them. They also apparently, Piper had a sex scene with Belinda's son Zion, and they cut it, which honestly, I kind of get it, because that would have been really random and just like super out of character, I feel like, for Piper. So I'm kind of glad, because when I heard that, I thought it was a joke, but they did film the whole entire, like, all the scenes, but doesn't really make sense. So kind of glad they cut that. But I think that's kind of why she like kind of had a change of heart at the end and just kind of like seemed a little bit different. And then what else? Just like, yeah, a good-ish ending, I guess. Like, I liked how all of the 3 girls, how they ended. They were at peace. Like, was happy with that. I loved Belinda's ending and that she got out of there. The family, I'm glad they got off the island and no one got sent to like prison, but I want to know what happens with them. Chelsea and Rick, I'm just like sad for. I love Chelsea so much. And then Chloe and Greg / Gary just like throwing a party. They were weird to me. So I don't know if like Greg / Gary will come back, if Belinda will come back, and maybe the Ratcliffe family will come back. I don't think they will because they didn't really bring people back, I don't think. But yeah, a good show. I'm sad it's over. You guys have nothing to watch, but I have been watching Real Housewives, and low-key, it's good. Like, I get it. But yeah, I think I said a million times during that recap, so I am so sorry for that. But that is everything for this week, you guys. Again, next week we're back to video in the new studio. I'm so excited for you guys to see it. And make sure you tune back in next week because it's going to be so amazing. But thank you so much for tuning in today, even though it was audio only. And I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your weekend, an amazing next week. And as always, just thanks for tuning in. I love you guys so much. And I'll see you back here next week for some more hot gossip, hot takes, words, and advice that will have you saying, literally what? Bye, guys.